Or we could just sit and chill and do it there. This is all good. There we go. Alright.
I feel like a child at the library. Going for story time.
That's it. I love it. Okay. Here we go. 'Twas the night before the festival of giving, when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Well, except for Chris. Chris was a mouse on a mission. For all his speed, agility, and cunning, he was, at times, a little forgetful, and had left his present hunting until quite late this year. He was still determined to find the perfect gift for his family and set out on a hunt. Braving the rowdy clatter of the dock, he scampered past the ships, round the corner, across the cobbled street, and up the steps to the port's most lively and exclusive tavern, the Headless Kraken. As he entered, Chris relaxed a little. The cosy, convivial atmosphere and the joyful banter suggested that most of the occupants were very much on their way to a merry evening indeed, and one tiny mouse would not be of too much concern. The glow of the fire and the candlelight flickers did much to mask his movements as he searched for his elusive target. Chris Mouse had chosen the Headless Kraken as he knew from their menu they stocked a most rare and exquisite cheese. Aware that any adventures into the kitchen suffered fatal consequences, he bided his time, waiting for someone to order the special cheese platter and their chance to strike. And tonight was the night. His afternoon stroll around the neighbourhood had proved most profitable, as gossip from the docks suggested a captain with a passion for cheese had made birth this fine day. What perfect luck, thought Chris. Fine timing indeed. Dashing to the mouse hole near the centre of the wall, he hid and waited for the distinct smell of a roaring sans brie. Gently smoked over volcanic ash and aged in molten lava-covered barrels. This cheese was unlike anything else. A truly once-in-a-lifetime experience that Chris had been lucky enough to have as a pup. He still remembered the smell, all molten, smoky deliciousness, and the texture, slightly crumbly, with a delightful squishiness. And the taste, oh my, strong, flavourful, and truly indescribable. That was why it cost so much. And the fact that it sold in incredibly small batches. Something about danger to life and limb in the making. Chris had not paid attention to much of that. He knew it was rare and he wanted it. Suddenly, the light got very dim and a big green eye surrounded by ginger fur covered the entrance. I never used to have a cat in here, thought Chris, panicking slightly. But this might have been a much more dangerous mission than he previously planned. I see you, little mouse, said the cat. What brings you here to this place this fine evening? The cat's demeanour was calm and confident, with the mannerisms of one who didn't want any trouble, but would be quite willing to oblige if push came to shove. Chris wondered if this meeting might be slightly less terminal than originally predicted, and decided that honesty would be the best policy. Good evening, Mr. Cat. I came here specifically as I heard there was a very exclusive cheese that I might be being purchased tonight, and I should like to take a small piece as a gift to my family. I do not mean to stay. I am just here for the evening. The cat smiled, a sharp, toothed, perfect grin. Very well, Mouse. Let me introduce myself. I am Tigerpants. What is your name? Chris was more than a little nervous by this point. I mean, how many predators have a getting to know you conversation with their prey? I am Chris Mouse, Mr. Tigerpants, and if you're gonna eat me, I'd rather you just did it as quickly and painlessly as possible, please. A deep, low rumble came from within Tigerpants, and then suddenly a loud peal of roaring laughter. Ain't you my friend? No, not this evening. You have arrived with perfect timing, and I have use for you. Perhaps we may strike a deal that would benefit us both. Tigerpants backed away from the hole as a show of good faith, and Chris moved forward a little and peered around the hole to reveal a rather large, well-fed, ginger and brown cat. Knowing there were limited options for his escape, Chris decided to play along and keep a watchful eye for last-minute exit strategies. Well, Mr. Tigerpants, what do you have in mind? After a few moments of whispering and pointing, both parties separated, and Tigerpants padded over to a cozy spot by the fire and curled up with one large green eye open, surveying the scene. Suddenly, Chris spied a mug of grog and a particularly glorious platter of cheese, speeding its way merrily to a large, surly-looking pirate captain. Over at table 5, Chris knew this was his moment. He waited for the pirate to settle into his chair and survey the tavern, and then he began his run. Meanwhile, Tigerpants spied the mouse darting across the floor towards the pirate captain, and in a ginger blab flew right past the captain's table, intercepting Chris with a deft swipe of his paw. Meow! Chris skidded across the floor at a high speed, finally stopping just short of the wall. He was lying very, very still. Tigerpants turned to the pirate, winked, and casually strolled back to his cozy spot by the fireplace. Captain Silvertash got up immediately and rushed to talk to the tavern owner in the hope of procuring the cat's mousing services for his ship, leaving the expensive cheese just sitting there, all alone at the table. Chris cautiously opened an eye, saw that their plan had worked. Tigerpants had wanted to be noticed by the captain for his skill, and now that Chris had a chance to steal a fine piece of Roaring Sands brie with ease. Jumping into Tigerpants' paw has not been as tricky as he thought, and had sent him flying across the floor. It had actually been quite fun. Tigerpants was indeed like no other cat he'd met. He suspected he'd make a fine crewmate aboard the captain's ship. Jumping up, he scampered over to the table, grabbed the largest chunk of cheese he could manage, and giving the large cat a tail waggle goodbye, he headed out. Tigerpants flicked his fluffy tail in return and closed his big emerald eyes. What a night! And success! This would be the best festival of giving ever, with much sharing of cheese and celebrations of friendships. Chris Mouse stood at his doorstep and looked up, smiling at the moon as it bathed him in silvery light. One day, my friends, maybe I'll get to steal a bit of you too, he said dreamily, grinning. But for now, season's greetings to you and to all a good night. There we go.
Yay!
A little lore. A little addition.
I couldn't find Tigerpants, but I brought Imposter Pants.
Yay! Imposter pants! Nice! I don't know where the captain's gone.
Oh, hello.
Pre-captaincy for Tigerpants! Yeah! Tessa, thank you so much for the sound alerts. Thank you for everybody hanging out for a little story time. There we go.